Okay, my lipstick is perfect. Let's make something that'll smudge it a little bit. Today we are going to start with some leeks. We're making seared and braised leeks to go on the side of our steak breakfast. I just cleaned the shit out of those because they were super dirty, chopped the tops off, and put some olive oil in a medium-high pan with a knob of butter. In this cup, I'm just making a little bit of chicken broth, so we're going to do a Knorr stock cube in there, the chicken flavor. And I'm just basting the leeks with some of the olive oil so the seasoning will stick. That's the roasted garlic and herb McCormick and a little bit of onion salt. That's all we did here. After we got a little sear on there, I just flipped everything over. Don't mind my little henna. It's going to go away soon, I promise. And once we got a sear and some color on one side, we seasoned the other side, of course, because we have common sense. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil on there and threw my handmade chicken stock or whatever in the pan with a lid. Next, we're going to cube up some shallots to make a quick chimichurri. It's just going to be shallots, parsley, and you want an acidic thing like red wine vinegar and lemon is what I'm going to end up doing. We're just going to chop up the shallots pretty small so there's not a huge bite in there. And then next we're going to come in with the parsley that we've thoroughly washed and chop it to smithereens. And this is all going to go in one of my little sauce bowls, and that's going to serve as a dipping, I guess, thing on the board. I'm doing my least favorite job ever, which is chopping up some garlic, but this recipe definitely called for fresh garlic. And all of that's in the bowl. We're going to baste our leeks really quick so they don't dry out. Now that the petals are opening, you want to get some broth in between those layers too. And the first two layers typically aren't edible. It's kind of like fresh artichokes. But anyway, we're going to zest one lemon into our bowl with our chimichurri sauce. Remember to stop at the whites so it doesn't get bitter. And then we're going to roll that lemon onto the cutting board, chop it in half, and squeeze it into the bowl, which you are going to see here. Yep. Just like I said, told you I wasn't a liar anymore. Yep, so we're going to squeeze that in there, and next I'm going to come in with some Mrs. Dash onion and herb, and a little bit of cracked sea salt. And next I'm going to do red wine vinegar. Sorry, my cameraman sucks today. And then we're going to add a bunch of extra virgin olive oil, a bunch of pepper. And then I have this zesty bell pepper relish or something like that. I just wanted something like tangy other than the lemon juice. So, yep, bell pepper relish. And I just threw a bunch of that in there. And I wanted a little bit of spice, so I also added some crushed red pepper flakes, which also gave it some color too. I always see hints of red in chimichurri. And that is going to serve as our steak sauce. Back in the pan, super high heat, I am just going to sear some New York strip steaks with just salt and pepper. And I overcrowded my pan a little bit. Don't do that. Next time, do like one or two at a time. I learned my lesson. I didn't choose the steaks. So I took one out of the pan with a couple heads of fresh garlic, got a sear on them finally, and I did some chopped up onions and mushrooms just because it's steak. Of course you need that. And don't judge the doneness of my steak either. The person I was eating with prefers cooked leather, I guess, but it was still tender. Trust me, you'll see. I threw a little W sauce in there, and now onto our mimosas. I chopped up some strawberries and just mashed them until I almost broke my wine glasses. And then I also mashed them in another glass. And then I threw a bunch of ice in there and tossed them in the freezer while we finished up plating. On my board, I just cut up the steak, tossed the mushrooms and onions on there. And then I threw a couple sunny side up eggs. I wanted like really dippy eggs today because it's like a board. It needs dippy eggs, of course. Hit the cameraman with my hand a little bit. And then I came in with that chimichurri and just kind of scooped a nice little section on top. but still had it to dip in as well. And then I had some of my favorite Olive Garden bread that I got from the grocery store. I heated up a couple pieces of that. Got some fresh strawberries, a big, huge knob of Kerrygold Irish butter. Steak goes so well with that butter. I threw in some of the pineapples from my mimosas. And then, of course, I had to garnish, so I threw some lemons on there. I laid my leeks on top. Leeks are like a super mild onion flavor if you ever cooked with them. This was my first time and they were really good. I wasn't going to tell you guys that because I like to pretend I'm a professional. But yeah, amazing. Incredible. 10 out of 10. I'm the best. I love me. Anyway, we popped some champagne and that was going to go for our mimosas since it was brunch. I put a sprig of mint and a pineapple in the glasses and just a little whisper of champagne. And then just a little more to make sure. And then I came in with some juice from the canned pineapple and poured that in there. And then finished up with some high pulp OJ because OJ should have pulp in it. It's really good. And those are our mimosas. Here is a bite of the steak with the chimichurri sauce. Amazing. And there's our beautiful board and some of our bites we put together. I wrapped a leek around the steak and dipped it in the chimichurri. Like, how fat can you get? It was so good. But as you can see, like, we hated it and left a lot on the board. Kidding. Anyway, your girl is on YouTube and you can follow me and keep up with all my recipes at Miss Rita Love. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all the things. But either way, once again, and as always, please enjoy your food and have the day that you deserve. Thanks for watching. Bye.